Alrighty then. I have walked about 1 3/4 miles from where I was recording before. Well, no, I'm about a mile from where I ended. But I remembered that this is a video that I wanted to do, and might as well go ahead and do it, even if I wait a couple of days to upload it. But that is panhandling and begging, or soliciting, which is a word that would also be used when convenient if somebody was sly enough with their wording and what they were saying on their sign, so that maybe panhandling or begging might be a stretch, but soliciting, oh, well, that's panhandling and begging. Look, it's free speech. And the corporations, which all of those are, I mean, if Dora's hair salon and Dora is a single individual like me, but female, and owns a hair salon, she's got a corporate legal identity that identifies her as a corporate-owned commodity, owned by the corporation, the umbrella corporation of the United States of America in all caps. But I want to illustrate corporate power and corporate usurpation of the rights of, quote, we the people, unquote, as related to homeless people and the state laws, federal laws, city ordinances, whatever you want to call it, concerning free speech, and particularly homeless people standing in the politeia, or the ancient Greeks would call it the politeia, which is the public forum, which is what? First Amendment auditors, what's the politeia? It is the public forum. That is a bedrock of the system of government that the ancient Greeks actually had, where, by the way, one of the little nuggets of information from Dr. Ammon Hillman and his understanding fully the ancient Greek writings contemporary with Jesus, and before, for at least 1,000 to 1,200 years, and at least another 500, 600, 700 years after that. And then the English had some good, according to him, some solid philologists like him back in the 1800s. But yeah, Dora is incorporated, so her hair salon damn sure is going to be incorporated too, because it exists on paper, which makes it a corporation, which means it's a fiction. Now, is it her property? Oh shit, there's another word we got to go decode with the coding that these coders like to encode through their coded history. With their coats of arms. You need to go watch some Sean Ross stuff and see the coat of arms of Donald Trump. It's just as pretentious and evil and greedy and compromised as he is. But yeah, corporations advertise. Look, Food City's way over there. Now, it says Food City right there, but Food City is soliciting and begging and shit. They're advertising. So they got all these corporations. They got the right to solicit business from you because they want your debt slave money. They need your debt slave money. This thing is propped up on deceptive money, deceptive religion, deceptive law, deceptive this and deceptive that. And you flag-waving cuckoos that call people cuckoo, but you're actually the one that's cuckoo. And because of your cuckoo and your willful ignorance and your extreme ease at which you've been brainwashed with all the propaganda. And look, I was guilty. 11 years ago, I was a dumbass piece of freaking ignorant garbage. Because I had been a Christian, very well studied Christian, by the way, and a very well studied kind of surface level of how economics works without understanding the mechanics below it. But yeah, all these corporations and stuff. Now see, I'm on the public property right now. I'm in the Politeia. I'm on the fucking sidewalk, which is what First Amendment auditors do. They go out to make the point, at least between public and private, that hey, when we're in public, at least when we're in public, because you're going to claim your property rights, and just like that one nasty comment, that one, I think Giureh is the one that said, well, stay off of public property where you're not wanted. I'm guessing that's in reference to the little tryst going on between me and the psycho abusive, should be ashamed of himself, investigator guy, I'm guessing with CPD, that threatened me, stalked me into McDonald's and then threatened me because of this sign that I'm holding. It was being held in the Politeia. Now he thinks, I have suspicion he might be reacting to, and maybe even buddies with, or knows perhaps, the security guard down there. And he doesn't understand the whole reality of the legal situation going on there, because I wasn't displaying the sign on private property. Okay, I'm not saying I've never done that. If the few times I have been doing that was asked to leave, I left. By the way, the spot I'm thinking of, by the way, I cleaned up all the garbage, like down the freaking back road. I mean the side road that goes in front of the area, and in the area, and cleaned it up. Right there were me and a bunch of other people. Okay, but most time I'm on public property. When I'm doing something like this, I'm on public property. Most time I'm on public property. Okay, but I mean, freedom of speech. The Constitution and everything wasn't something that was by design simple for no reason. It was by design simple for a very specific reason, and that reason was because if you don't keep it simple like this and literally make this document, along with the amendments, the bedrock of, the filter, literally a filter that every law after now has to be judged as to whether it is constitutional or not. And that's related to what I was talking about with John Felix in the video, the second video that I haven't uploaded yet. I'll be uploading it when I get back to where I can get Wi-Fi. But I think I walked by this creek one time, and it seemed like there's a lot of stuff you can't see because of the water. It seems like, I don't know, it might be a different creek. This one's not too bad. It's got some trash and stuff. By the way, I've got an idea, in case any of you pissed off people happen to be. I'm not big enough even here in Chattanooga to get any attention from people downtown that are in politics and stuff like that. But hey, I just got an idea for especially areas like this area and Hickson that don't like the homeless situation. I got an idea for you. You see all this fucking trash right here? It's visible from this sidewalk. You could pay me about, I don't know, you give me 25 bucks and I'll go pick up every fucking piece of trash that I can see from right here that's on both sides of this creek. Actually, I don't know. It might be about 30 because I've estimated jobs. I've been in outside sales. I've estimated jobs before. A lot of times it ends up being more than you think, because I see some stuff down over there that you can't kind of, there's a lot, probably 30 bucks. At least the first time you'd be able to talk me into it for 30 bucks. I'd go ahead and agree to it right now. I mean, I got a canvas, a blanket or something right there. But yeah, think about that. Now, what if the police, or I don't know, you know, the fire chief, somebody had time to ride around in his already taxpayer-funded vehicle, and he had a little gun thing. And what his gun thing did was it shot a flag that was designed so that basically when he shot it, it would end up basically sticking in the ground unless he shot it at a bunch of rocks like that right there. You know, a spot for him to get out, walk over, and shoot a couple of flags that a homeless person would see. Okay, so it's marked with a certain color flag. What does that mean? That means if you have a phone, whether you got service or not, you can record yourself picking that shit up on both sides of that fucking creek and pull both of those fucking flags and take all of it with you with the flags on top of the trash in the bag. And you can easily, I don't know, somewhere you can meet up with either that person, or if the police are doing it, a policeman or whatever, and they carry cash around with them. And guess what they're going to do? You're going to give them that bag of trash, or, you know, it'd be easier if you arranged a deal where local businesses all said, hey, we'll let y'all throw that public trash, or, you know, public and private. It's going to be, sometimes it's private property. Doesn't matter. You know, hey, we'll allow these homeless people, when they're throwing those trash bags away, doing this little thing that y'all got going on, we'll let them just come to our dumpster at the restaurant or at the shopping strip, whatever, and throw it away there. But you got to keep the flags in the video, right? You keep one or two flags and the video, and that right there is all you got to do to redeem it. You know, basically, I don't know. You know, you can show up at any post office, let's say, and they'll have cash on hand to handle it, or show up at the police station, or you get in touch with the police, see if you know, whoever is patrolling that area, maybe if they ain't doing nothing and they got time, swing by and hand you the $30 for it, right? And take the flags, reusable flags, special gun, I don't know. There's all kinds of, I used to train dogs with my sister and brother-in-law in South Alabama. Hank Williams Jr. got drunk trying to outdrink the Henderson boys down there in Wilcox County, where I grew up until I was 14, and then Mom and Dad uprooted me and took me to North Alabama, where I graduated high school with a college prep diploma, by the way. But yeah, I mean, you know, there's got to be a way other than shitting on the Constitution and the First Amendment out of the amendments. Real basic freedom of speech, especially while in the Politeia, which is any public property, publicly funded. Well, this is government. You know how many cops and security guards have been caught over the past 10, 15, 20, 25 years by auditors and cop watchers and government oversight people recording them? Well, this is their own public property. They don't even know. Trying to run an auditor or somebody filming off of public property, holding a sign. Jeff Gray, holding a sign that I don't agree with because of what I know. God bless the homeless veterans, and I don't wish ill on the homeless veterans. Don't get me wrong; they're victims, just like all of us. But they're some of the worst victims. Don't let your children go in and sign up for the United States military. This whole fucking system's got to be corrected because they don't do anything but kill for money for rich oligarchs and war contractors. Stop it. But yeah, there's a solution for your homeless situation. If you don't want homeless people out there begging for money, I mean, you know, you're not a victim. There's not one goddamn victim in Chattanooga, Tennessee, or the state of Tennessee, or the United States from any homeless person standing on, I'm showing the sign, standing in the Politeia, holding a fucking sign. I don't care what it says. And yes, profanity is supposed to be covered. Sorry. Does that mean that good people are going to be out there just, you know, that bad people are out there doing profanity out there in the Politeia. You know, I don't know. Well, yeah, I want my kids not to see the profanity from an activist standing in the Politeia on public property. But I also don't want my child to ever concern themselves with the pedophiles that are blackmailed, that are in all positions of top key positions. That's the thing. See, they don't have to run. You don't have to run the Defense Department, the DOD, by having everybody in the DOD compromised. No. You just need a few, not even all, of the top key positions. That's how this thing works. Spycraft, people. Black Scout Survival, I mentioned him earlier. He knows what he's talking about on a lot of that stuff. But the poor guy doesn't know. He's focused on Americana type evaluation. And don't get me wrong, he's kind of like Ammon, but Ammon's about 98%, and Black Scout Survival, because he's just now gotten to the point. Just in the past month, literally, he finally has thrown, so to speak, Donald Trump under the bus. He knows that Donald Trump ain't about making America great again. He ain't about none of that shit. Now, what does that take? I don't know. I guess it takes a tough guy like Jack that's got balls and a good heart that still needs to learn a lot. I've been trying to get Jack to go to my playlist, and then he would probably want to go and learn more from Sean Ross, a military historian, for somebody that's served in the American military. What a novel idea. Regions. Goddamn, look at that fucking pyramid. Why are we surrounded by fucking pyramids? Oh, Scenic City Cigars and Social. Oh, shit. I wonder if I should show them my District of Criminals sign. Oh, shit. I'm going to show... I like showing people and seeing their reaction. I can't see that one's reaction. Oh, Trust the Turtle. We got... Oh, shit. Public storage. Damn. I could move over here to East Brainerd if I wanted to, but I got business to handle over there where I'm at, so I'll stay there for now. Maybe I'll get this business handled. And what we should have over there concerning the dumb inbred security guard is we should have a not a walk of shame, but a no show of shame by Baldy, the investigator guy that wants to get himself embroiled in a freaking lawsuit as well as criminal charges. I'm that motherfucker. Alright. I gotta move, people. Come on. Get your ass on. Come on. Hurry up. Oh, goddamn. I know them. Okay, I'm walking. I'm walking around back of you. Go ahead. Now, see, I'm considerate. When people are sitting there, I'll walk in front of them and block them from being able to pull out when they can. I'll walk around the back of that first car. And I ain't going to walk in front of the second one either if it's wide open like it just became. And both of them, I'm going to be courteous and let them go. What is that? Oh, Ted Fugent. That's creative. Maple bourbon. What's this? Wait a minute. I thought it was familiar. Oh. CBS all the way down. There. All right. So I got CVS Insight. Hot damn. I got Bojangles, Dutch Brothers, Regions. God damn it. By the way, see, that's why you need to watch. This is a good example right now of why you need to watch my videos and listen to this crazy psycho, righteous, homeless, truth guru blues guy. By the way, if you haven't gone to listen to The Ghost of Gatemouth Brown by Tab Benoit, Benoit, you need to. Oh shit, what am I doing? What the fuck am I doing? Oh. Banks. Had to jog my memory for a minute. Banks. I'm pretty sure that under normal common sense thinking of basic economics and money, that if you're, in parentheses, this is missing now from the debt clock, in parentheses. If you're 228 to 231 trillion, I'm guesstimating the addition in the past, I don't know, 3 years or so, or whatever, however long it's been. It's pretty close to $230 trillion of debt. And you're a bank, and that is the money that is in your bank, and that your whole financial structure is built upon. I'm pretty sure that means that fucking bank right there, along with all the rest of them, with the exception, taking into consideration my lack of microscopic knowledge of certain parts of the overall money and banking system, I'm pretty sure that means that bank right there is bankrupt. Isn't that what it means when you are dealing with money and the money is about to collapse unless more war and death and piracy of natural resources and human trading and drug trading and arms trading, if all of that shit right there isn't there to prop up the whole fucking system, then nature and natural free market economics would say, oops, you can't play with us anymore because your fucking money is no fucking good. You are bankrupt. Technically, all the banks are bankrupt. Federal Credit Union. Okay. Well, it's encoded within U.S. code. You can look it up. That the U.S. government is a federal corporation. The word federal shouldn't be there. It's kind of like saying sovereign citizen. If you're a citizen, you're a subject of the state, and you're fucking not sovereign. And the state is a corporation, which is a foreign power. So a foreign power literally owns your fucking soul. See how the Bible comes into it? If I didn't finish this point earlier, if you're like cuckoo and dum-dum and you're too stupid to consider the possibility and the probability, especially once you look at the different areas like the occult and the esoteric knowledge and secret knowledge and all that, and then you look at the banking and the big religions that took the masses on these rides of fantasy with all of the supernatural and the judgment, there's going to be justice in the end. Oh, come on, man. Can't you see how there's tampering with the intellect and just kind of like a pacifier in the mouth to avoid looking for psychological terms like, obfuscate any resistance. If you're a real good, faithful Christian, you believe the basic sales pitch, which is way different than what was originally written. You're going to believe that sales pitch. And you're going to think that, hey, you know, I see all this evil shit, all these Satan worshipers and stuff. You know, they did it so that you would think that they knew ahead of time that when they were fixing to do the most evil shit they could to the peoples that were the target, which is Caucasian Europe, which spread to Australia, Canada, and everywhere else, and in the banking system and the court system spread globally. But it's all attached to the same thing. You got to be able to attach threads. You got these threads that you can take in your hand in the present, and you can go back in time in a time machine. You can go all the way back to Jesus in Gethsemane. You can go all the way back to Abraham. By the way, Islam is supposed to be the ones that beat in the apocalypse. Well, the apocalypse is a totally different thing. It's all drug stuff. If you go and catch Ammon at Lady Babylon going through what parts of Revelation and explaining to you what they're actually talking about, they're talking about drug cult shit. Okay, we're talking about visions. Okay, like in Ezekiel, the wheel in a wheel and stuff. This is stuff that is the actual terms and words in the ancient Greek meant something totally different to somebody like Ammon that knows the ancient Greek. What was written was basically all tied to the secretive occult drug rites. Why was Paul immune to snake venom? Paul was immune to snake venom because he was shooting the rift, baby, and probably using snake venom, which is one of the types of venoms that they would use to enter death, to Christ themselves into death. That death-inducing drug. Cleopatra died. By the time you had the Roman Empire getting kicked off and beyond, you had these emperors, many of them. You had Cleopatra. You had Leonidas. There's like 5 of them, literally, that were some of the biggest. Marcus Aurelius, some of the biggest known emperors in the world back then, ended up with the compound drug formulas that they needed, combining multiple snake venoms, whatever, different types of venoms were used in different concoctions, but these are multi-drug compounds, and you would make a paste or a salve or a cream or whatever, and that's one way you could do it, and it was very common. Jesus had it on his eyes. It says that he had this crusty stuff that looked like blood, but it wasn't blood, on his eyes, right? Eat my flesh and drink my blood. All of that stuff goes to the what you would call, as a Christian, the pagan drug rituals. Jesus and Abraham and them was doing the same thing, y'all. But what's worse is the 12 students of the virgin, pure Sybil or oracle female virgin. Her 12 disciples were little girls, and they were trained by her, Diana, okay, right? Well, you also had 12 disciples Jesus had, but they were little boys. And they were doing the same thing that the virgin girls were, using their bodies as drug processors. That antidote, or Antichrist, or the Christ, or the dote, either one, their bodies could be used as a processor so that basically any bodily fluid out of them, and perhaps even their sweat, okay, but a little bit, but especially their blood or any other bodily fluid, right? And yes, there were sexual rites that these virgins were using that were sexual in nature, sort of, but it was a process that in these, right? But if you sent if you had a bloodthirsty tyrant that was killing innocent people, women and children, and just freaking Mr. Conqueror gotta rule everybody, she would especially in the beginning, maybe less so later, but she would demand his head come off. She's on top of your courthouses holding those scales of justice. But these motherfuckers, these boy lovers, these NAMBLA members that have infested the entire planet and your banks and everything else, your governments, these people are doing it with the boys. But that's why the boy was needed with Jesus. That boy had the antidote in his system. That's why he had a sindone, which is a medical wrap. And that medical wrap was on his genitalia. The words in the ancient Greek are plenty complex enough to cover that. And they do. The theologians don't know this. 6-month seminary schools that throw a handful or 100 modern Greek words at these people as they go through seminary school, no, that's not going to cut it. I gotta go on private property. I gotta go on private property, y'all. I'm trying to stick to, most of the time, stick to the stupid unconstitutional rules, y'all. Hey, y'all fight the man. Join the revolution. Hey, you Tennessee volunteers, quit watching old Brando over there lead you over to the left plantation. I'm leading you away from both of them, and sense is freedom.